My child, don't scroll. Stop right here. Listen to me. It's over for you. The pain, the fear, the confusion, the battles, the silent storms, the heaviness that has followed you for so long. It ends now. And your new beginning starts the very moment these words enter your heart. I am speaking to you directly, not through chance, not through luck, not through randomness, but through divine intention. Heaven itself has placed this message in front of you because your spirit is standing on the edge of a shift you have cried for and waited for. You didn't find this. I brought this to you because it is time. My child, I slowed your steps. I interrupted your scrolling. I quieted your thoughts for this exact moment. Heaven pauses when I speak to you like this. Angels stop moving and lean close, for they know what I am about to release into your life. They know the weight of this moment. They know the power these words carry. They know destiny is opening and the old season is losing its grip. Do you feel the stillness around you? That pause in the atmosphere? That sudden pull in your spirit? That is me. That is my presence sitting beside you, guiding your eyes to these lines, wrapping around your heart with holy urgency. Don't scroll. Don't move. Don't turn away from this moment, because this is not just another message. This is a divine intervention. I stepped into your day. I stepped into your timeline. I stepped into your thoughts because your soul needed to hear me right now. You have been walking with unanswered questions. You have been breathing through pain that you didn't understand. You have been carrying wounds that no one saw. You have been smiling while breaking inside. And I watched it all, feeling every tear, hearing every silent cry, holding every shaking breath you didn't know how to steady. My child, I could not let you take another step without stopping you and saying, it's over. The wait is over. The battle is over. The cycle is over. The season that tormented your heart, the confusion that darkened your thoughts, the fear that gripped your chest at night, it is finished. Heaven has made a decision concerning you. And when heaven decides, nothing on earth can stop it. When I say something is over, it cannot continue. When I close a chapter, no enemy, no person, no force can reopen it. You have wandered through a long night. You have survived storms that tried to take you out. You have endured episodes of pain that others would have collapsed under. You have kept going with an empty heart. You have carried trauma in your chest and still managed to rise each day. I saw all of it. And now, because you refused to give up, because you kept holding on even when you were shaking, because you held on to hope even when hope felt small, heaven is giving you a new beginning. This message is your line between what was and what will be. This is your crossing point. This is where the old loses its authority and the new takes its place. Something holy is shifting around you right now. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but your spirit feels it. That gentle warmth, that sudden calm, that strange sense that something is different. That is my presence touching you. That is my hand reaching into the deepest part of your soul and saying, you are safe now. You are free now. You are entering a new beginning. There is a reason you paused here. There is a reason your heart leaned in. There is a reason you felt something pulling you to keep reading. You have reached the moment heaven wrote for you long before you were born. A moment where your story turns. A moment where restoration begins. A moment where old chains fall. A moment where your identity rises again. A moment where what felt impossible suddenly becomes possible. Do not ignore this moment. Do not brush this off as just another message. My child, this is me speaking, and I am speaking because you are stepping out of something heavy and stepping into something holy. You have cried enough. You have fought enough. You have questioned enough. You have struggled enough. You have survived enough. Now it is time to live. It is time to breathe again. It is time to feel joy without fear. It is time to walk without carrying everything on your shoulders. It is time for a fresh start, a beginning written by my hands, not your pain. Your new beginning does not come tomorrow. It does not come next week. It does not come someday. It begins now, with these words, with this moment, with this breath. Heaven has declared it. The shift has already started. You stepped into your new season the second you stopped to read this. Do you feel the break in the atmosphere? That is the sound of your old season collapsing. That is the sound of chains falling. That is the sound of your heart being lifted by my love. I am wiping away the old. I am clearing the path. I am breaking the cycle. I am silencing the lies. I am removing the shadows. I am healing the wounds. I am restoring the strength you thought you lost forever. I am giving you your life back, and not the life you had before, a better one, a whole one, a blessed one. But my child, hear me clearly, stay with me. Do not scroll. Do not rush past this moment. One more second of hesitation could delay what I have opened for you. You are standing at the doorway of a new season. Do not walk away now. Let me finish what I started in this moment. Let me speak into the places you kept hidden. Let me rebuild you from the inside out. Let me bring you into the life I always intended for you. Stay with me. The new beginning you prayed for is unfolding as you read. Say amen. Your love restores me if he has healed your brokenness. My child, come closer and listen to me with a calm heart, because I am declaring something over your life that heaven has already sealed. It's over. The attacks, the loneliness, the disappointment, the delay, the fear that stayed longer than it should, the nights that broke you in silence, the weight that sat on your chest, the confusion that stole your peace. That entire season, the one that drained you, tested you, stretched you, and left you feeling empty, it is finished. I am speaking this to you directly so your heart can finally rest and know that you are not returning to what once hurt you. The old season has reached its appointed end. You walked through a long, painful chapter that few people understood. You carried burdens quietly, smiling while your soul was crying. There were days you told yourself you were fine even when you were trembling inside. You endured storms that no one noticed, storms inside your mind, storms inside your heart, storms that made you question your worth, your purpose, your hope, even your future. You survived things that would have crushed others, and you did it with little support, with little understanding from those around you, and with almost no strength left inside you. Yet still, you got up. Still, you kept going. Still, you pressed forward even when you didn't know how. And because you endured, because you did not give up, because you continued to seek me even when it felt like I was silent, I am now declaring the end of that long chapter. I am closing it myself. Another day of that pain will not follow you into your new beginning. The season that hurt you is not allowed to touch what I am opening for you next. The enemy does not get to repeat old cycles. The wounds of the past do not get to reopen. The disappointments that shaped your nights do not belong where you are going. I am putting a final wall between your yesterday and your tomorrow. You ask me, Lord, how can you say it is over when I still feel traces of it? And I answer you with truth, seasons end in heaven before they end on earth. Breakthroughs are born in the spiritual world before they manifest in the natural world. Freedom begins in the unseen before it shows up in your emotions. You have already stepped out spiritually. You simply haven't felt the full shift yet. But believe me when I say this, I ended it in heaven long before you felt the shift on earth. The moment I spoke the words, the storm lost its power. The moment I declared the change, the darkness was broken. The moment heaven closed the season, earth began moving in alignment with what I decreed. You are catching up to what heaven has already done. Your heart is adjusting to a freedom that was already released. Your spirit is learning how to breathe again after years of carrying things that were too heavy for you. You are beginning to feel life again, hope again, peace again, not because things around you changed yet, but because something inside you is waking up. You feel it even if faintly. The heaviness is loosening. The noise is softening. The confusion is clearing. Your soul knows something has shifted. My child, I need you to understand this. No old battle will cross into your new beginning. What tried to destroy you in the last season has no access to the one I am opening. The enemy that tormented your heart, the voice that lied to you, the fear that chained you, the disappointment that hardened you, none of it is allowed to follow you. The door behind you has closed, and I have sealed it with my own hand. Nothing from your past season has permission to enter your new one. The relationships that drained you will not enter. The cycles that exhausted you will not repeat. The emotional storms will not return. The doors that shut were meant to shut. The endings that hurt were necessary endings. I know there were days when you asked me why certain things collapsed. You questioned why certain people walk away. You asked why certain opportunities died in your hands. You wondered why certain hopes fell apart when you had given everything you could. But my child, every ending was a divine act of protection. I was clearing the old season even when you didn't understand. I was pulling things away that could not go with you where I am taking you. I was cutting ties that would have chained you. I was removing what would have weakened you. I was pruning your life for growth you could not yet see. Now the pruning is over. Now the storm is over. Now the waiting is over. You have crossed into something new, something holy, something written for you long before pain touched your life. I am wiping away the final remnants of the old chapter so you never return to it in your heart, in your mind, or in your spirit. Every message we share is meant to bring you closer to God. If our work brings peace to your heart, you can bless us with your support through super thanks. Your kindness means more than words. Let me touch those places inside you that still tremble. Let me calm the memories that still carry pain. Let me heal the scars that remind you of your battles. Let me speak to the deepest part of you and say, it's over. You can rest now. You are not in survival anymore. You are not walking through fire anymore. You are not fighting for air anymore. I am lifting the weight off your shoulders. I am restoring what the old seasons stole from you. Your peace, your identity, your confidence, your joy, your strength, your clarity. And hear me when I say this, you are not who you were in that season. The storm changed you. The pain matured you. The loneliness deepened you. The trials purified you. You are stronger now. You are wiser now. You are more spiritually awake now. And now that the season is over, you will see why you had to walk through it. You will understand why I didn't let it break you. You will understand why I waited for this exact moment to bring you out. Your new chapter begins clean. Faye. Uncontaminated by the past. Free from the weight of what hurt you. Free from the voices that lied to you. Free from the fear that controlled you. Free from the doubt that held you still. I have wiped the slate clean. I have washed the ground behind you. I have removed the shadows that haunted you. Now breathe, my child. Lift your head. Place your hand in mine. You are stepping into a new beginning, one that nothing from the past can interrupt. The page has turned. The chapter is closed. The season is finished. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will follow you into the life I am opening in front of you. Walk with me. The old is gone. The new has begun. My child, come sit with me in this moment, because I need to talk to you about the weight you carried, the weight that no one else understood, the heaviness that followed you into nights where you could not sleep, the burden that sat in your heart even when you tried your best to smile. I saw everything. I saw the tears you wiped quickly before anyone noticed. I saw the way your chest tightened when anxiety rose without warning. I saw the silent battles you fought inside your own mind. I saw the pain you hid behind your smile, the pain you felt no one would understand, the pain you forced yourself to ignore just so you could keep going. My child, I watched you when the world did not. I listened to the prayers you whispered in the dark. I heard the words you couldn't even speak, the ones that formed only in your heart because your mouth was too tired to utter them. I was there when your tears fell onto your pillow. I counted every single one of them. Not one tear dropped without my notice. Not one cry went unheard. Not one moment of breaking went unseen. There were nights you laid awake staring at the ceiling, wondering why life had become so heavy. Nights when you felt trapped in your own thoughts. Nights when you wondered if you would ever feel peace again. I sat beside you in those moments. You didn't feel me, but I was closer than the blanket covering your body. When you held your breath to quiet your sobs, I held you. When your heart hurt so deeply that you felt it ache physically, I wrapped my presence around you and kept you from collapsing under the weight. You carried grief you didn't know how to explain. You carried wounds that were never healed properly because you had to move on before you were ready. You carried responsibilities that were too heavy for one heart. You carried pain from people who should have loved you better. You carried guilt over things that were never your fault. You carried expectations, fear, shame, disappointment, all of it layering itself over your soul, piece by piece, until you felt like you were suffocating under the weight. And yet you kept going. Even when everything in you begged to stop, you moved forward. You woke up every day with a tired spirit but still made it through. You showed up for others even when you were empty. You gave love while feeling unloved. You encouraged people while silently breaking. You carried others even when your own legs were shaking. My child, heaven watched you do all of this, and heaven wept with you and for you. Do you know how many times you wanted to quit? More times than you admit, even to yourself. There were moments you looked at your life and thought, I can't do this anymore. There were days you whispered to yourself, I'm tired. I'm so tired. There were times when your heart felt too weak to beat another day. You didn't tell anyone, but I heard every thought. I felt every tremble in your spirit. I knew how close you came to giving up. And every time you were about to collapse, I stepped in. Sometimes in ways you didn't recognize. A random moment of peace that came out of nowhere. That was me. A breath of calm during panic. That was me. A sudden strength that helped you get through one more day. That was me. A word from someone that spoke directly to your pain. That was me. A moment when you almost fell but didn't. That was me holding you up. You thought you were alone in your suffering, but I was closer to you in your suffering than in your comfort. My child, when you hurt, my heart bends toward you. When you cry, I am near. When you feel abandoned, I draw closer. When you feel weak, I surround you. You may have felt alone, but you were never alone. I was with you in the darkness, in the heaviness, in the confusion, in the fear. I never once pulled away from you. Heaven recorded every moment of your pain, every night spent crying, every silent prayer, every day you felt numb, every time you held your chest trying to steady your breath. It is all written before me. Each moment will be repaid with something greater. You do not suffer without purpose in my hands. You do not cry without harvest. You do not break without rebuilding. You do not lose without return. Nothing you endured was wasted. Not even the parts that felt pointless. Not even the moments that seemed unbearable. Not even the seasons that looked like pure loss. Right, amen. I stand firm in faith if nothing can shake your trust in Him. You may not see the meaning yet, but every tear was planted into your future. Every heartbreak softened the soil of your soul so that I could plant new life. Every disappointment redirected your steps toward better things. Every lonely moment shaped your character, strengthened your heart, sharpened your spirit. Every weight you carried became a testimony heaven will use to lift others. My child, I am repaying every moment. For every tear, I will give joy that does not leave. For every sleepless night, I will give rest that restores. For every heartbreak, I will give a healing that reaches deeper than the wound. For every betrayal, I will send relationships that truly love you. For every season of lack, I will give abundance that overflows. For every moment you were unseen, I will put you in places where you are valued. I did not forget your pain. I did not overlook your suffering. I did not ignore your cries. I carried you through what you could not handle. And now I will overflow you with what you could not imagine. You survived what was meant to break you. And because you survived it, I will bless you beyond measure. You carried weight that was never yours to hold. And now let me lift it from you. You carried sorrow through days that felt endless. Now let me fill you with joy that does not fade. You carried fear that silenced your voice. And now let me give you peace that no darkness can threaten. My child, everything you endured is turning into something beautiful. Nothing was wasted. Your story is shifting. Your heart is healing. Your life is being restored piece by piece. And very soon, the weight you once carried will become the reason you stand stronger than ever before. My child, let me lift the veil for you. Let me show you the truth behind the battles you walked through, battles you thought were random, battles you thought were just part of life, battles you thought were your fault. The attacks you faced were not natural, they were spiritual. The pressure on your mind, the heaviness in your chest, the confusion in your thoughts, the fear that rose out of nowhere, these were not signs of weakness. These were signs of warfare. You did not know how fierce the fight around you was, but heaven did. While you were trying to survive the day, the enemy was trying to destroy your purpose, silence your voice, and break your spirit. You weren't weak, you were tired. You weren't failing. You were fighting battles in the unseen. You weren't losing your mind. Darkness was trying to invade the ground I gave you. The enemy saw something in you that you did not see in yourself. He saw the calling on your life, the destiny written over you, the light inside your heart, the purpose woven into your spirit. He saw how powerful you would become once you healed. He saw how impactful you would be once you stood up again. He saw the new beginning that was coming toward you, and he tried everything to stop you before you reached it. There were attacks against your mind, thoughts that told you were not enough, thoughts that made you question your worth, thoughts that tried to convince you to quit, thoughts that planted fear where I had planted purpose. The enemy whispered lies into your spirit because he feared the truth I placed inside you. He tried to make your mind a battlefield so your life would lose direction. There were attacks against your heart, emotional wounds, broken relationships, sudden losses, betrayals, loneliness that felt like a shadow sitting on your chest. You wanted your heart to break so deeply that you would close yourself from love, including mine. You wanted your heart to lose hope so you would stop expecting anything good. He knew that if he could injure your heart, he could injure your future. There were attacks against your identity, whispers that made you forget who you are, pressure that made you feel small, situations that made you question your place in this world. You were put to doubt your value, doubt your voice, doubt your uniqueness. The enemy knows identity is the foundation of destiny, so he tried to shake it until you could not recognize yourself. There were attacks against your purpose, closed doors, delays, confusion, sudden setbacks, unexpected storms that came right when you were about to move forward. The timing of your battles was never accidental. They always came right before your breakthrough, right before something new, right before something big. The enemy was fighting what heaven was preparing. My child, you have asked me many times, why did everything hit me at once? Why did the pain come so suddenly? Why did the darkness rise when I was trying to change my life? And I answered you through every battle, even when you could not hear me, because the new beginning was close. The battles intensified because your breakthrough was approaching. The enemy fights the hardest when he knows he is running out of time. You were getting too close to the place he never wanted you to reach. You were growing. You were awakening. You were stepping out of old patterns. You were breaking free from generational cycles. You were beginning to see yourself the way I see you. And that frightened him. You think you barely survived those seasons, but you did not barely survive. You overcame. You rose. You endured. Not because you were strong enough, but because heaven was protecting you through every attack. You have no idea how many storms were aimed directly at your spirit. You have no idea how many arrows of discouragement were sent toward you. You have no idea how many traps were placed in your path. You have no idea how many moments the enemy planned to take you down completely. But every time darkness tried to reach you, my angels stepped in. When fear pressed against your mind, angels covered you. When depression tried to suffocate you, angels surrounded your spirit. When hopelessness tried to enter you in the night, angels fought for you. When the enemy whispered, "Give up," angels whispered louder, "Hold on." You did not fall because heaven held you upright. My child, the enemy tried to destroy what I planned for you, but he failed. He tried to silence your purpose, but you are still here. He tried to break your spirit, but you still rise. He tried to fill your mind with darkness, but light still shines in you. He tried to stop your future, but my plan stood firm. You survived because heaven would not let you fall. You thought it was your strength, but it was my shield. You thought it was coincidence, but it was my protection. You thought you were lucky, but you were covered. You thought something inside you kept pushing you forward, but it was my hand on your back guiding you through every wave. Do you remember the nights where you felt something holding you together when you were falling apart? That was me. Do you remember the moments when you walked through danger without realizing it was danger? That was my intervention. Do you remember the sudden peace that came in the middle of chaos? That was my voice calming your storm. Do you remember the moments when your spirit felt too heavy to continue, but somehow you did? That was my presence lifting you. Every attack that came against you came because of the calling on your life. The enemy saw your potential before you did. He feared the person you were becoming. He feared the strength you developed in the storm. He feared the wisdom you gained in the fire. He feared the faith that grew when everything went dark. He feared the authority you would walk in after surviving the season meant to break you. My child, you need to understand something. You are dangerous to darkness. You are a threat to the enemy. You carry light that shatters shadows. You carry purpose that shakes the ground of hell. You carry a future that heaven celebrates. That is why you were attacked. Not because you were weak, but because you are chosen. And even now, as you read these words, darkness trembles because you are waking up to the truth. You are realizing what really happened. You are recognizing that you are not broken. You are rising. You are not defeated. You are transforming. You are not weak, you are anointed. And the enemy cannot stop what I am about to do in your life. You survived every attack because I stood between you and destruction. You made it through storms that were never meant for you. You overcame things you still don't know were trying to kill your spirit. Heaven fought for you relentlessly. Angels covered you fiercely. And now, because you survived, because you endured, because you held on even when everything tried to pull you under, your new beginning has arrived. No attack that came against you will have power in your next chapter. No darkness that tried to bury you will enter your new season. No fear that followed you will step into your new beginning. Every battle is behind you now. Every storm has lost its grip. Every attack has been silenced. You survived because heaven would not let you fall. And now you will rise because heaven has declared your breakthrough. My child, now come even closer, because I am about to show you something that will make your heart soften and your eyes open in a way they never have before. You have cried over so many things you thought you lost, so many doors you believed should have opened, so many people you wished had stayed, so many situations you felt slipped out of your hands. You blamed yourself at times. You thought you weren't enough. You thought you missed something. You thought your prayers were ignored. But today I am lifting the veil. I am pulling back the curtain. I am revealing the truth behind the things you never understood. There were silent interventions, holy, unseen moments where I stepped in front of you, redirected you, protected you, shielded you, trimmed the path, and moved things out of your way without you even knowing. You did not see my hand, but it was there. You did not hear my voice, but it was speaking. You did not feel my movement, but I was moving. I have saved you from more than you could ever imagine. My child, there were wrong relationships I blocked because they would have destroyed your spirit. People you wanted so badly, people you prayed for, people you begged me to keep in your life, yet you did not see what I saw. You did not see the future wounds, the future confusion, the future heartbreak. You did not see the betrayal waiting for you. You only saw the desire of your heart, and I saw the danger behind it. So I closed the door. I shut down the connection. I made the communication fade. I allowed their heart to turn, not to hurt you, but to protect you. You cried for things that would have broken you. And with love, I said no. I blocked what you cried for because it would have broken you. There were opportunities you wanted that I shut down. Jobs that didn't accept you. Places you tried to fit but could not. Plans you made that fell apart. Not because you lacked ability, but because the path was wrong. If you had walked through those doors, you would have been tied down, slowed down, drained, or stuck. You would have settled for less than what I planned. You would have walked into a future that did not match your spirit. So I closed the door not as a punishment, but as a rescue. There were decisions you wanted to make, steps you planned to take, actions you thought were right. But something in your heart felt uneasy. Something told you to wait. Something told you not to move. You called it fear, but it was my voice. I delayed things because moving too soon would have harmed you. I slowed you down so destiny could catch up. I held you still so disaster could pass by. You wanted speed, but I needed alignment. There were prayers I did not answer, not because I rejected you, but because I was protecting you. You think unanswered prayers mean abandonment, but they often mean divine intervention. I was saying, not this, not now, not in that way. I was saying, I have something better. Trust me. I was saying, you're asking for crumbs when I prepared a feast. My silence was not absence. It was protection. It was strategy. It was love in a form you didn't recognize. My child, do you remember the times you felt like nothing was changing? When you prayed and the circumstances stayed the same? When you begged for signs and all you heard was quiet? You thought I was ignoring you. You thought I wasn't listening. But the truth is, unseen miracles were happening behind the scenes. I was shifting people. I was moving hearts. I was aligning timing. I was preparing doors. I was clearing paths. I was holding things together that were falling apart. I was working on layers you could not see. Comment Amen. I receive your blessings today if you're claiming God's promises over your life. And share this video.